Welcome to the Explainer. Let's just jump straight in today, because we're going on a bit of a micro-quest. We are searching for the absolute Goldilocks zone of coffee brewing. I mean, if you've ever stood in your kitchen, totally bleary-eyed, wondering why your morning espresso sometimes tastes like a warm, comforting hug, and other times, well, it tastes like absolute battery acid, if that's you, you're in exactly the right place. We're going to break down the exact science of what's actually happening inside your espresso machine.
So let me ask you this. Think back to a really disappointing morning coffee you've had recently. You know the exact one I'm talking about, right? You take that first, highly anticipated sip to jumpstart your day, and suddenly, your face completely scrunches up. The coffee is either jarringly sour or just aggressively, unpleasantly bitter. Now, why does that happen? Well, the answer doesn't lie in the coffee beans having some sort of personal vendetta against you. It lies entirely in the physical mechanics of water hitting grounds. And that's the exact puzzle we're about to decode. Section 1. The under-extracted shot.
All right, meet the first villain of our story. The physics here are actually pretty simple. Under-extraction happens when water runs way too fast through your coffee grounds. Just imagine water rushing through a wide-open sieve. It moves so quickly, almost like it's in a panic, that it completely fails to pull out the essential sugars, the sweetness, and that rich body from the coffee. Because the water just hasn't spent enough time in contact with the coffee grounds, it's literally a hit and run by the hot water. It just didn't stick around long enough to extract any of the good stuff.
And let me tell you, that high-speed hit and run, it absolutely ruins your palate. A fast-flowing, under-extracted shot is going to taste incredibly sour. It's sharp, practically biting the sides of your tongue, and the texture in your mouth is going to feel incredibly thin and watery. It completely lacks all of that syrupy, heavy goodness you actually want from an espresso. So when you taste a highly unpleasant sour, sharp, and thin shot, you know instantly that water zoomed through those coffee grounds entirely too fast.
So the crucial question is, how do we fix it? Well, here are your two actionable weapons to defeat an under-extracted shot and finally get some control over that fast-flowing water. To slow things down, you can do one of two things. Number one, grind your coffee finer. A finer powder packs tighter and creates a much tougher, denser roadblock for the water to get through. Or, number two, just add more coffee to your basket. A thicker bed of coffee means the water literally has a longer physical distance to travel. It has to work harder to get through. Both of these tactics will successfully slow the flow down, giving the water enough time to actually extract that much-needed sweetness. Moving right along to Section 2, the over-extracted shot. Okay, we've met our first villain, but we can't swing too wildly in the other direction. If under-extraction was a high-speed rush-hour freeway, over-extraction is a grueling, agonizingly slow drip of a traffic jam. This happens when the water runs way, way too slowly through the coffee. Because the water is just sitting there, trapped and restricted inside the grounds for far too long, it starts pulling out way too many bitter compounds. Basically, it overstays its welcome. It's already extracted the sweet flavors, and now it's forcefully pulling out all the harsh, negative elements of the coffee bean that we desperately wanted to leave behind. And you're going to feel this extraction mistake immediately upon tasting it. An over-extracted shot is intensely, aggressively bitter. It leaves a terribly dry, astringent feeling in your mouth. It's almost like it's sucking the moisture right off your tongue, leaving it feeling a bit like sandpaper. Honestly, it's just an overwhelmingly harsh experience. So the very next time you take a sip and it's agonizingly bitter and dry, you can instantly diagnose the error. Your water flow is simply too restricted. But don't worry, we have a practical checklist to rescue a slow shot too. To fix an over-extracted shot, we need to do the exact opposite of what we did before. We need to open up the floodgates. Step 1, grind your coffee coarser. Bigger, chunkier coffee particles create much larger gaps and air pockets, which lets the water flow through much more freely. Or step 2, simply put less coffee in your basket. A thinner bed of coffee offers significantly less resistance. You're essentially clearing the traffic jam so the water can get through at a healthy, normal pace before it has the chance to dwell on those deeply bitter compounds.
Now let's build a rock-solid mental model here. Think of this as the ultimate cheat code for the home barista. On one side, we have under-extracted. The water moves entirely too fast, resulting in a sour coffee. On the exact opposite side, over-extracted. The water moves agonizingly slow, resulting in a bitter coffee. Fast and sour versus slow and bitter. If you can firmly lock this simple, contrasting dynamic into your brain, you are officially equipped to troubleshoot and rescue almost any bad cup of coffee you'll ever encounter.
Section 3. Striking the perfect balance.
All right, enough about the villains and the mistakes. When you finally tune your grind size and your coffee amount perfectly, you land right in that extraction Goldilocks zone. Not too fast, not too slow, just right. The ultimate reward is a shot that is wonderfully rich. It's surprisingly sweet, and yes, when extracted correctly, espresso actually possesses a beautiful natural sweetness. It's perfectly balanced across the palate, and instead of a jarring, sharp sourness, it features a pleasant, sparkling acidity that just brightens the whole cup without overwhelming it. It really is the absolute ideal sensory experience. So, how do we actually guarantee that we get that rich, sweet, balanced cup without just blindly guessing and hoping for the best every single morning? Well, there's actually a precise mathematical framework you can follow. Let's look at the secret formula that's going to help you achieve absolute victory in your cup practically every single time you pull a shot. Here's the first half of the secret formula, the golden ratio, 1:2. This is your absolute foundation for a great espresso. This ratio simply dictates the amount of dry coffee going in compared to the amount of liquid espresso coming out. So for every 1 part of coffee grounds you put into your basket, you want to extract exactly 2 parts of liquid espresso into your cup. This specific 1:2 ratio is universally recognized as the proven sweet spot for dialing in a perfectly balanced flavor profile. It captures the sweetness without drawing out the bitterness. And here is the second, equally important half of our formula to permanently lock into your memory, 25 to 30. That is your exact target time frame measured in seconds. You want that 1:2 ratio of liquid we just talked about to fully hit your cup in exactly 25 to 30 seconds from the moment you start the water pump. Think about it. If you reach your output in only 15 seconds, well, you already know what that means. It's too fast, under-extracted, and sour. If it takes 45 seconds, it's too slow, over-extracted, and bitter. 25 to 30 seconds is the ultimate mechanical sweet spot for flawless extraction. Which brings us to our final takeaway, and my final challenge for you today. Will your next shot hit this sweet spot? Now that you intimately understand the exact mechanics, that fast equals sour, slow equals bitter, and the perfect balance requires a 1:2 ratio in exactly 25 to 30 seconds, you possess all the tools you need. I challenge you to take these exact formulas into your kitchen tomorrow morning. Adjust your grind, precisely measure your coffee, time your shot with a stopwatch, and taste the incredible balance difference for yourself. But remember, hitting the perfect time is really just the beginning. I mean, what happens when we change the water temperature or the beans roast profile? Oh, the rabbit hole goes much, much deeper. Happy brewing, and thanks for joining me for this explainer.